about to enter the wild world of conventions.
First time.
From photo ops to autographs, maybe even crying over someone like Jensen Ackles, who knows. After years of cons, I have made every mistake in the book. And so I'm making this video so that you don't have to. This is everything: flights, hotels, tickets, even how not to smell like a locker room by day 2. So let's start with the boring but critical stuff, getting there. All right, first let's talk flights. So here's my rule. If it's a short flight, say under 2 hours, go budget, save your money. I flew Spirit to Texas because it was like a 2-hour flight and you know, it was fine, honestly. But when I flew from where I live to LA, that flight was like a 6-hour flight. So I splurged and I went with Southwest. That's like a splurge to me, clearly. Your back, your sanity, and your leg room will thank you for those long haul journeys. But anything like less than that, it, fly Spirit. Now, here's a pro tip that I love. If you already know what cons you are going to the following year, book flights during Black Friday sales. A lot of airlines have promotions going on and you can get a lot of really great deals. Money, please. So if you have your con roster lined up, go ahead and do that. And if you fly a lot or even just like once a month, something like that, maybe even less, get yourself a travel credit card. I actually don't have one because my credit is shit, but I know a lot of friends who have theirs and they are able to maximize their credit points to get a lot of discounts on flights. So if you have like a specific airline that you are loyal to, getting their branded card is the way to go. But if you're someone who uses a wide range of airlines and just takes whatever is cheapest, then getting a card with flexibility and transferable points is actually probably your best bet. I think like Chase Sapphire, American Express, and Capital One are the ones that have the best travel credit cards out there, but do your research on that. And that way you can use your points across the different airlines and get the most out of them that way. Trust me, those points add up, and then before you know it, you're flying somewhere for free. And who doesn't like free? Now let's talk lodging, because where you stay can really make or break the bank here. First rule, always split things with your friends. Stack that hotel room to maximum capacity like it's a game of Tetris, babe. Just do it. It doesn't matter. You're just sleeping there. I'm talking sharing beds, air mattresses, getting one of those rooms with a pull-out sofa, whatever it is, just making sure that you are stacking that room up. I mean, literally you're there to sleep. You're not there to star in a luxury resort commercial. That's chill. You don't spend a lot of time in your room anyways when you're at a con. Now, hotel, Airbnb. Here's what I've kind of figured out. If you've got 5 or more people, splitting an Airbnb may or may not be cheaper depending on the area that your convention is in. If you've got 4 people or less, just go for the hotel. Those are almost always cheaper with Airbnb's crazy cleaning fees now. Just do the hotel. If you've got more people than that, check out the price difference between renting in a larger Airbnb versus renting out 2 hotel rooms, because that's what you'll need to do. Sometimes you can get away with sticking a 5th person in a hotel room. We've done that before. Some hotels are more strict about that. Obviously, the nicer the hotel that you're staying in, the less likely you are to get away with that. We're typically not staying in very nice hotels, so we've gotten away with it a couple of times. But usually after all the Airbnb cleaning fees and extra charges, it honestly ends up being cheaper to rent a hotel room these days. Unless you have like a group of like 10 people, obviously, and then obviously getting a big Airbnb is probably the best bet. Oh, always join hotel rewards programs. Yes, the points build up slowly, but that's not what we're here for. I mean, obviously, yes, you should be racking those up as well, but sometimes they'll just send you random discounts and even sometimes promotional offers that you can book. I did have to sit through a timeshare pitch.
What am I supposed to do with this?
But I got sent one of those promotional offers and it ended up letting my friends and I, do not sign anything, by the way, for those timeshare pitches. It ended up letting my friends and I stay for 4 nights in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom resort in Orlando, and it was awesome. We spent, I think, $500 total, $100 a person. It was amazing, one of the best accommodations that we've had for a convention. So yeah, they'll send you those sometimes. You, again, will have to sit through a timeshare pitch, but don't fucking sign anything. And they might get annoyed about that, but I don't give a fuck. You sent it to me, I'm taking advantage of your offer. And I'm not signing a fucking timeshare. And then last pro tip about lodging is just if you have family or friends in the area, do not be afraid to ask them if you can crash on their couch. I mean, that is some of the ways obviously you can save hundreds of dollars at these events, and it's something that I've done a couple of times where I'll stay with a friend for the weekend instead of actually getting a place. And if you don't have friends in the area or you're not traveling with friends to a convention, check out either Facebook groups for that convention that they're in, because usually they do have a Facebook group related to it. People might be looking for a roommate, or just put a post up on social media. Obviously be smart, internet safety, meet in public first, trust your gut, vet the people that you're staying with, but you can find roommates in those Facebook groups or on the internet, and it can be perfectly fine that way. Bottom line, lodging doesn't have to break the bank, just be creative, pool your resources together, and you'll be just fine. All right, let's talk tickets. This is where most first-timers panic. Here's the thing, some conventions actually charge more online. Crazy. Yeah, those convenience fees can really add up. Actually, at Creation Entertainment events, they turn off the fees online during the con weekend. So there's that, keep that in mind. A little weird, I don't know if that means that they could just turn them off the whole time, but whatever. And some places even let you pay with cash at the door, old school style. But if you are paying with cash, keep this in mind. If there's something or someone that you know will sell out, Jensen Ackles, I'm looking at you, buy it immediately. General admission for conventions typically won't sell out. For bigger events like New York Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con, and even some of Creation Entertainment's larger events like Boston just sold out for GA this past month, and that was kind of crazy. That rarely happens, so it is a possibility, but it doesn't usually happen, so you're usually good to wait on admission, but stuff that you think is gonna sell out really quickly, buy that in advance as fast as you can. Here's my strategy. I buy a single day of admission for the day that I think is gonna have the most things that I'm gonna be doing at the convention. I typically don't do all 4 days at a convention. If it's just a 2-day, I'll do both days, and usually I'll only do the weekends at conventions. I don't necessarily think that you have to do all of the days. Just pick which ones obviously have stuff that you want to do. I'll buy that single day ticket first, just for the day with my must-do events. And then if the other days don't sell out by the con weekend and I want to attend, then I'll add that on. So yeah. And if you don't go to the con all 4 days or 3 days or however many days, it's totally fine. Use that free time to explore the city. This is a great opportunity. You're traveling to a new place. Go ahead and take advantage of it. Now, buying photo ops and autographs, like I said, those big names, they do vanish fast. So those Jared and Jensen ops, I am online the minute that they drop in case I want to buy any for those cons. Those sell out in like minutes. Some actors either don't cap or have incredibly high caps on their photo ops, so they won't sell out as quickly, but most do have a pretty reasonable cap on theirs. And there's always, of course, the cap from the con itself and just how much they're able to handle going through in one day. Smaller actors or those with those high caps, you're usually fine to wait until the con itself, but the actors who are bigger than that or who have like a reasonable cap on theirs, you know, you should go ahead and snatch that up when you can. For example, I don't buy any photo ops or autos for the creation events that I attend except for Jared and Jensen photo ops in advance. So when those go out, I jump on those. Those will again sell out in like minutes. But Misha doesn't have as low of a cap on his ops as they do, so his ops typically do not sell out, even like during the convention. You can usually actually buy his photo ops like right up until like an hour before the actual time slot that it's scheduled for. And so then I can just wait around until the con weekend rolls around, and then Creation will drop those online fees and I can go ahead and buy that ticket then. And that saves me a little bit of money. So a summary of all of that: prioritize the will sell out stuff, buy that online as fast as you can, and then relax on the rest. All right, next let's talk packing essentials, because nothing ruins a con faster than forgetting your deodorant or phone charger. Ask me how I know that. So first, obviously, outfits. Comfort is key. You will be walking a lot at these things, but there's no shame in wanting to look cute. You're getting your photo taken. So thrift stores are a gold mine for con looks if you are looking to, you know, get a little bit of a newer wardrobe in there. You know, go ahead and get yourself a cute new shirt, cute new pair of pants, whatever makes you feel good. Pack your outfits by the day and consider bringing a special photo outfit if you want to change into something that's a little bit less comfortable for the photos and then change into more comfortable pants or something for after the photos are taken. Oh, and don't forget sleepwear, because you know, sharing a bed in jeans, not comfortable. Hard pass. And then next on the list is makeup and skincare. If you are not a makeup person, make sure that you are at least bringing moisturizer and sunscreen, because again, you're gonna be moving around a lot, you're gonna need it. For photos, I swear by really gripping primer and then a setting powder to blur out and make sure that you're able to not get like any reflectiveness in your face in that photo. It just really smooth everything out for your pictures. I use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and then I use the setting powder by Ilia, so I recommend those too. Other than that, pack up your makeup and then bring along a little bag that you can put little touch-up stuff in throughout the day and put into your main purse for the con, because you're gonna need that stuff when you're walking around. Next, toiletries. Mini toiletries are a lifesaver. I actually bring a bag. Hold on, let me go grab it. Pro tip, keep a pre-packed travel bag ready to go. I have bought and invested in mini versions of all of my normal products. And if you are traveling a lot and you're going to a lot of cons or a lot of just events in general, travel in general, solid investment. I do recommend it. I use this bag everywhere. I have it pre-packed, ready to go for all of my trips, and I can just put it in there and it's good to go. Again, never forget deodorant. Cons are sweaty. Perfume is optional, but the people around you might appreciate it. Next is a binder or something to put your autographs and photo ops in. I recommend the binder just because it's easy and convenient, and you can decorate it really cute. I mean, you can't really see because it's reflective, but, and this has, you know, all of my photo ops from over the years, and it keeps them protected in these like plastic sleeves, and that way you don't have to worry about getting it back home as well and getting wrinkled in your suitcase or anything like that. So bring something to protect your photo ops and your autographs. You will not regret it. And plus, it's a cute little con tradition. Then you have a little keepsake. Okay, here are the essential extras. You are going to bring hairbrush, hairstyling tools if you use those, but the hairbrush is the most important part because bad hair days will happen. You're walking around, you're getting sweaty, and you wanna make sure you have a brush in your pocket for that photo op line. My friend Emmy actually brings like a little mini one around, and she uses that for the con line. Obviously, if you want a regular sized one, just do that. And then if you're a curly haired person, maybe don't. I am naturally curly haired. I usually have my hair straight, so I do bring a hairbrush with me everywhere. If you take any medications, do not forget to bring those medications. This is also very important. You don't want to throw yourself off of schedule. You don't want to throw your body out of whack at a time when you're going to be walking around a lot. Portable charger, or your chargers in general. Make sure you bring all of your chargers for your electronic devices that you are bringing, but also invest in a portable charger. You will not regret it. It is the most important thing, honestly, at a convention, because there are hardly ever any outlets anywhere, so you will need it. And then last, water bottle and snacks. The con food is expensive. Sometimes the conventions don't even have food in them, and sometimes you're in the middle of fucking nowhere, so there's nobody around to get food, and then you end up eating at 9 p.m. because you're running around doing stuff in general. So, you know, protein bars, crackers, chips, whatever. Just make sure that you have something with you to snack on throughout the day, because otherwise, I mean, most of the time, most of the con days, my friends and I don't end up eating until like 9 p.m. So snacks, lifesavers. Save your photo op tickets to your phone wallet, to your camera roll. Just make sure that you have screenshots or have them somewhere where you're not going to need Wi-Fi to access them, because the con Wi-Fi is fairly spotty most of the time. Print backups if needed, and some cons do require like printed tickets, so make sure you check the rules at the con that you're going to. So if you need your tickets printed, print them, print backups just in case if you want to. If you don't have a printer at your house, a hotel usually does have a printer, so if either the hotel that you're staying in or the hotel that the convention is hosted in will probably have a printer for you to use. And then also double check your documents. Double check that you have everything you need. If you're flying, the real ID requirements have just changed, so just make sure that your ID is up to date and you're able to fly. My final tip is pack light but pack smart. You don't want to be lugging giant suitcases everywhere, and I've definitely been guilty of overpacking before. I mean, I still overpack quite frequently, actually. All right, now let's talk registration, which is your first mission when you get to the con. Here's exactly what to expect and how to make it smooth sailing. Step one is finding registration. First thing when you arrive, hunt down the registration line. For bigger cons like New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con, these lines can be massive. I mean, even at some other like regional Comic Cons like Epic Comic Con, Boston, Chicago, stuff like that, those lines can be pretty huge. So plan to arrive early. I would say at least an hour before your first event of the day. If you are not attending every day, see if you can register the day before you're attending. So if you're going Saturday, see if you can register for Saturday on Friday afternoon just to save yourself some time the next day. Some cons don't allow you to do that, so they only allow you to register on the days that you're going, but some do, and actually most do. So just, it can't hurt to ask. Then when it's your turn, they'll scan your ticket and they will give you either a wristband, something like this, or they will give you a lanyard. This is a really old one from when I was in the Drag Race Fandom. They'll give you something like this. Guard this with your life. I have seen people crying over their lost badges and wristbands before. And sometimes the cons are nice and they will give you a new one. Sometimes you're shit out of luck. So make sure you keep a close eye on those. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to registration. It can feel pretty chaotic, but just take a deep breath. Got this. Once you have the badge around your neck, you're good, and then the real fun can begin. All right, now let's demystify photo ops because nothing will spike your anxiety more like 30 seconds with Jensen Ackles. Here's exactly how it works, step by step. So first of all, the ticket rules. You get one pose or one picture per ticket. Most cons will allow between 2 to 4 people per one ticket. Creation only allows 2. Most conventions will allow 4. So for example, if you want 8 friends in one shot, you would need to buy 2 tickets for most conventions and 4 tickets at a creation convention. So pose prep. If you want to find inspiration for your photo ops, you can scour Pinterest. They have a lot of really great examples on Pinterest there. You can save them to your phone. Or if you want, there's a Facebook group called the Supernatural Convention Photos Facebook group. You can join that. It actually has like an archive of so many years worth of Supernatural photo ops. Even if you're not going to a Supernatural con, you're doing something outside of the fandom, it still has a lot of really great ideas because the Supernatural fandom is so creative at coming up with these pose ideas. So there's a whole bank of that for you to take inspiration from. Again, save those ideas to your phone, put them in your favorites because that way you'll have them easily accessible during the convention. And then also keep those poses fairly simple. Like if you want to do recreating a hug with an actor, great. If you want to go for like full-blown reenactment of a scene,
we'll do it live. We'll do it live!
Probably not gonna fly. These are very, very fast. And props are fun, but make sure to have a backup pose if you are bringing props. Some cons might not allow them, or the line might be moving really slowly, so they're only allowing like basic poses at the time, or just the actor might veto it. Sometimes that happens. So if you are bringing props, do have a backup plan. All right. So the actual process for photo ops. Number 1 is ticket exchange. Some cons, like Creation does this for Jensen, Jared, and Misha, and not the others. Some do this for the larger big name actors, just like Creation does. Some cons do it for all of their actors. They'll make you swap in your electronic ticket for a physical one. So you'll have to go to the swap area, find that, and exchange your ticket. Some of them just scan the phones. So make sure you check the rules for your convention. And then after that, you'll line up when you're called. Sometimes these things are split into what are called sessions. So if you have, for example, Matt Smith session 2 on your photo op ticket, you'll wait until they call session 2 or for the time that session 2 is scheduled at before you line up for your photo op. Other cons, they'll do it by number. So if your ticket says Misha Collins 250, you'll need to wait until they're calling Misha Collins 200 to 300, Misha Collins 200 to 250, whatever it is. You'll need to wait until they're calling your specific number to get in line. And then once you're in the line, when it's your turn, you step up fast. Some cons will allow you to show your pose on your phone, and then others will require you to verbally describe it. So make sure you practice describing your pose just in case. For example, Jensen, can you point at me like I'm a ghost? Like,
don't forget to speak very, very clearly.
Keep it something simple like that, something quick that they'll be able to like catch on to very quickly. And then that's it. They'll take the picture. It is gonna be super fast. It's over in like 3 seconds, and there are typically no do-overs. So If you're wearing glasses, make sure to take those off just to avoid glasses glare. And then just like prepare yourself to take that picture pretty fast. And again, like the glasses glare, keep your hair out of your face, stuff like that. You don't get a redo. Most con photographers are not gonna pay close attention. They have to take so many photos in a day. They're not gonna catch it unless, you know, you get a really good one. Like Creation's Chris Schmelke, he's awesome. He might catch it. He tries his best. But you know, stuff happens and sometimes you don't get that do-over. Most of the time, they will not retake it unless it's like a really, really bad photo. And then after that, you'll just wait for printing. It could be minutes, it could be hours. It depends on the printing system that your convention has, you know, how many printers they have, how many volunteers they have, all of that stuff. So use that time to hydrate, walk around the vendor's room, and then there will be a designated photo pickup spot where you can go. No deep conversations, unfortunately. You save those for autographs or a meet and greet or something like that, but then you'll have a picture forever. I think they're worth the experience. But again, it's just a very fast process, so prepare yourself to not get to speak to the actor or whoever you're taking a picture with for more than a couple of seconds. All right, autograph time. This is your chance to actually talk to the actors, but of course, just like everything else, there are rules, so let's just break it down really quickly. Again, similar to the photo, one ticket means you get one item. No exceptions. So if you want your Funko Pop and your photo op signed, you would need to buy 2 tickets. At creation conventions, only the ticket holder can actually go through the autograph line, but at most other conventions, they allow you to bring friends with you that they can just walk through the line with you. So what can be signed? Most items are fair game, so photos, Funko Pops, custom art, but always check the con website first because they'll usually have a list of things that aren't allowed. So like weapons, obviously not. Weirdly erotic merch.
Is this allowed?
Also probably not. When in doubt, just ask. So the process is very, again, pretty similar to photo ops. Some cons do the numbered sessions like the photo op process. So that'll be the same process in terms of waiting for your number to be called. Others, you just walk up during the actor's autograph slot. Some actors will actually like sell the autographs directly at their table. So you can just walk up and purchase an autograph at their table. Some you have to buy the tickets in advance and then walk up and get the stuff signed. You'll have slightly more time here than the photo ops to actually have an interaction with the actor, but again, you should prep what you want to say because you're not gonna have a ton of time. So, love your work, or this specific scene meant a lot to me, something like that. Keep it concise. They are like trying to push people through and get things done. If you do wanna give the actor a gift, this would be the time to do it.
I made you a sandwich.
Think small, better, you know. Friendship bracelets, usually yes, they'll usually take those. Giant oil paintings, probably not. Managers often intercept and don't take that personally. It's just the actors have to travel too. They have to get home, and sometimes those larger gifts and stuff like that just are a huge inconvenience for them to be able to get home. And they don't want to throw out something that you've worked hours on, so they might just say politely, no thank you. When the staff say move along, go. Sometimes if you're lucky, the actor will choose to continue having a conversation with you, but that's up to them and it's not guaranteed. So when they're trying to push you through the line, don't make a fuss, just go ahead and get your stuff and go. And pro tip, bring your own Sharpie, a fresh one, if you want guaranteed fresh signatures. Otherwise, you might end up with this where it gets all smudged and stuff because theirs aren't super great because they've just been using it for like a bajillion people. All right, meet and greets, the holy grail of con experiences and by far the most expensive, obviously. Let's talk about how to make the most of yours without having to, you know, pay a second mortgage. So the prices range wildly. I've been to a few meet and greets that are like $75. I've paid as much as $700 for others. I don't want to talk about that.
I represent the rent is too damn high party.
Some cons sell them at a flat rate, and then others, like Creation, does them in auction style. So prices will like climb really quickly for stuff like that. Set a hard budget beforehand and don't let yourself get swept up in the last minute panic bidding. Just stick to that budget. If you miss out, you miss out, and there always will be opportunities in the future. It's not worth accidentally digging yourself into a hole because you've bid more than you can actually afford. Sure that you, my mic, dude. You'll get a rule sheet, make sure that you read it. So there's usually rules about what you are and aren't allowed to talk about in these things, like no politics, trauma dumping, stuff like that. I mean, this isn't therapy, it's supposed to be fun. So make sure you read the rules prior to bidding if you're looking to go into it for a specific reason. Make sure that that reason isn't against the rules and you're not getting yourself into something that you don't actually want. You'll be in a room with other fans, so break the ice early. I know that we're all kind of anxious about speaking to strangers, but we're all here because we love the same things. You're all in that room because you love the same person. You know, talk about that, say hi, joke about your nerves. Makes everything smoother once the actor does arrive. My cat is trying to climb the fucking chimney right now. Chase. So during the meet and greet, ask questions. This is your time. You have paid for it. Do not let yourself miss out on actually getting to talk to these people because of your nerves. I know that it's incredibly nerve-wracking of an experience, but make sure that you have the confidence, you know, ask your questions. Be mindful, of course, share the time, no monologuing, don't like all of the time with that actor or performer, whoever, but you know, make sure you do get a word in and make sure you do get your money's worth. If the actor vibes with your energy and ends up like extending that conversation with you, that's great, that's awesome, that's not on you. They've continued that conversation. Let them lead, obviously. You know, that feeling that you get when your favorite actor walks into the room and they're sitting right in front of you and you get to ask them the questions that you've been wanting to ask them this entire time, it's unbeatable. It's a great experience. I've loved every meet and greet that I've been a part of. You know, enjoy it. Don't let yourself get caught up in, I have to be perfect, I have to, you know, come across this way. Like, no, just be yourself, relax, and enjoy the environment that you're in. And I want to specifically talk about that auction that I was talking about. And I'm going to talk about Creation's Dutch auctions. They do it that way. And I'm going to talk about them specifically because they are the only convention circuit that I personally have actually gone through the auction process with. Hopefully this is kind of evergreen advice, but it is geared towards the Creation circuit specifically. So these are obviously the most intense hours of your con life. I have survived plenty of these auctions, and I'm just here to make sure that you don't accidentally bid $2,000 on Jensen Ackles when you weren't meaning to. So the first rule of the Creation auctions is that you must have a convention ticket to attend. This is probably the same as most conventions. There are no exceptions, obviously. These are Dutch auctions, meaning you place one bid and then you do not bid again until you are outbid. I repeat, one bid. Do not rebid until you are outbid. If you bid again before being outbid, congratulations, you've now just bid on 2 seats and you're going to be on the hook for both of those.
You had one job.
And yes, you must pay if you win. You are contractually obligated to then buy both of those seats. I repeat one more time. Place one bid, do not rebid until you are outbid. You will get a notification. So the high bidders list shows who's winning and then what price the actual auction is at. If your name drops off of the list of high bidders, that means you've been outbid. Creation will also send you an email telling you when you've been outbid. They'll also send you an email when you place a bid. They'll send you an email for every step of the way, basically. Here's the scary part. Once all of the seats fill up, say there are 10 spots in the meet and greet, once 10 people have placed their bids, then that 11th person that comes in is going to start jacking up the price. Once the price starts going up, the price is going to increase very quickly. And then that last hour of the auction is going to be absolute chaos and it's going to jump really high, really fast. For your actual bidding strategy, you do have 2 options. You can bid early to set it and forget it, but the prices do stay lower the longer we all wait. Keep that in mind. Or if you bid last minute, you can try to get the best deals. This is a little bit more of a high stress option, obviously. My advice, if you're taking it from my perspective, bid last minute. Bidding early helps nobody except for Creation's wallet. It just ensures that we keep outbidding each other and keep jacking up the price days in advance so that by the time that last hour comes in, we're already at twice the starting price, you know what I mean? So just try your best to bid as late as possible. I understand that these things are very stressful and you might not want to go in right at the last minute, but you know, go in like 10 minutes before. Set your max number. So again, the maximum amount that you're willing to bid on that specific item and stick to it. If you bid 700 thinking, oh, it's never gonna hit that, it might. So pick a number that actually you want to pay. Again, there's no like, oops, changed my mind. Once you bid, you're contractually obligated to pay. So bid, your maximum bid should be a reasonable one. Then if you win, congratulations. You'll get an email with the instructions for the meet and greet itself. Celebrate, make sure you pay that invoice within 24 hours or even sooner if the con says even sooner. With Creation, it's 24 hours. If it's a different convention, they might have different rules. So make sure, again, read all of the rules and then yeah, just start planning your questions in advance. If you lose, there's always the next one and your wallet will thank you. Okay, schedules. Con schedules are wild. You will have photo ops, autographs, maybe a meet and greet, maybe a special event, maybe a panel that you want to catch. Here is what works for me. Use whatever works for your brain for how you actually structure your schedule. If you are a spreadsheet nerd who wants to have a chart that's color-coded and loves spreadsheets, and spreadsheets are what makes sense to you, make a spreadsheet, live your life. I think most of my friends are kind of spreadsheet people. They usually make spreadsheets. My friend Taylor loves to make a spreadsheet with all of our con schedules organized by where we need to be and stuff like that. It's really great. Me personally, I don't visually love a spreadsheet. It doesn't really compute very well in my brain. Having to match the columns to the other side, it's just a lot for me, a lot going on. So for me, I'm more of like a minimalist, visual type person. So I will actually just type my schedule directly into my notes app. I will just literally put, just like this, I'll put it up on the screen. An example, I literally will just do that. It's super simple. That is my personal system, neurodivergent approved. I keep things organized that way. I put them in order, make sure that I know where I'm going, at what time, on what day. Some of the conventions do have like printed out maps and like printed out schedules that you can just highlight and stuff like that. They're kind of veering away from that, obviously. It's a bit of an environmental concern. Creation has an app where you can save your events in their app and make your own schedule. I do use that a lot for their events. It's great, love it. Then it actually tells me where I need to go to. I don't have to keep referencing my map and all of that. So that's nice. I appreciate their app very much. It is actually a nice touch, but not every convention has that, unfortunately. Add buffer time in between your events. Things are gonna take longer. Just make sure that if you've got something planned, you're keeping a little bit of buffer in there to keep yourself organized, and don't stress out too much if things are like overlapping or getting too close. Usually these conventions have multiple sessions. Sometimes they have the actors doing stuff on multiple days, and if you miss a photo op session on Saturday because you were busy doing something else, you can potentially ask to retake it on Sunday, and they will usually honor something like that because you've paid for the ticket. It doesn't actually hurt them to let you do it. Fail-safes for those events though, in case you desperately don't want to miss anything, just like me. Set a phone alert, put it in your calendar and make sure that it's set to send you actually notification 15 minutes before and then right as it starts to make sure that you're there on time. Screenshot your schedule just because if you have it in like a Google Doc or something like that, again, the Wi-Fi is unreliable in these places and you might not be able to access it. So make sure you have it screenshotted somewhere. And then lastly, share your plans with your friends. Make sure your friends know where you are, where you're supposed to be, all of that, share with each other. That way you can all kind of hold each other accountable and make sure that nobody misses anything. Trust me, when they say, Jensen Ops, last call, you will thank past you for being organized when you are in that hallway and ready to take your photo. And that's it. Your ultimate guide to surviving a fan convention like a pro. To recap the big lessons, book smart, buy tickets strategically, pack like your sanity depends on it, master that ops and auto hustle, and then make sure that you stay on schedule. These events are equal parts magic and chaos. You will definitely forget something, you might cry, maybe even a couple of times, who knows, but you will definitely make lasting memories and you will have a good time at these events. Now, go forth, nerd out, tag me in your convention photo ops, and if you ever see me at a convention not taking any of my own advice, no you didn't.